Make it a challenge to wake up in the morning and let your first thought be, before you ever even hit the floor, today's gonna be a good day. Why? Because it's the first thought I had when I opened my eyes and my feet hit the floor in the morning is today is gonna be a good day, and today is the day whatever you wanna make it.
13 years old, I had a decision to say yes or no. At 13 years old, I gave in to try to fit it. I said yes to marijuana. I told myself this will be the only time I ever try this. I'll never cross the line. I'll never drink alcohol. I'll never try hard drugs. I'll just smoke a little marijuana. I mean, come on, it's not that bad. It didn't stop at marijuana. It progressed.
What's up, everybody? It's Zeke here, guys, with episode 2 of the ZekeSpeaks show. I'm here with my co-host Stu, my guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the man, the brains behind the vision, I like to call him. But guys, we're so glad to have you tune in again for episode 2. We've had a great week, guys. We got some big things coming for you soon, and we can't wait to get that stuff to you. So in the meantime, guys, we don't want to hold you up any longer. Let's get you started with the show. And we got some really deep stuff for you guys today. So Stu, you want to go ahead and start us off with the first question, guys? And we'll get you guys some positivity and some encouragement in your life.
Let's get it. All right, here we go. Question number 1. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show. So, we got a guy who plays football. And he's gotten busted with failing drug tests.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. And so now, you know, he said, I'm trying to do better, and I have. Been doing better. I have a question though.
Okay.
What's so bad about it?
Oh. What's so bad about it? Okay, so I get this question a lot. What's so bad about it? And honestly, you know, I'm not one to judge because honestly, none of us are to judge. I truly believe that. But I do feel like the reason why I would tell you that smoking weed is bad is because you are a product of your surroundings. And so if you surround yourself with the people who are involved with that stuff, you're going to get sucked in deeper and deeper and deeper. And I know a lot of people, I try to keep it real. I try to keep a real mind and very open-minded. You know, I struggled with this same question, Stu, like a lot in my life. Like, it's not that bad. And, you know, I have to, I mean, just being 100% real. Like, if you had to ask me which was worse, alcohol or marijuana, I would say alcohol. But I understand because why? Because I've lived it, that when you surround yourself with people who are involved with not doing the right things, you're going to put yourself in situations or circumstances that you're going to get caught up eventually, you know. And I say a lot of times, you know, bad company corrupts good character, and that's something we hear all the time. But if you feel like smoking weed's not bad, you know, you're right to that opinion. But here's the thing, is the people that you're surrounding yourself with that are smoking weed, are they making you a better person? And that's the true question you got to ask yourself is it going to do anything good for you? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to tell younger kids that ask me, like, it's not that bad, like, but what is it going to do for you? It's not going to get you any farther in life. It's not going to get you any closer to your dreams or goals. It's not going to get you any closer to fully powering your potential. You know what I'm saying? So why surround yourself with what I like to call weak-minded people? Because then you become weak-minded yourself. But if you surround yourself with people that are strong-minded, very vision-driven, I feel like you're going to also be... you're going to find yourself in good environments where you'll realize that it's not that it's the worst thing in the world, but it's not doing anything good for your life.
One of the biggest lies you can tell yourself with anything is, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
You know what I mean?
And that's a lie we tell ourselves a lot. Like, you know, I hear it all the time. The biggest lie in the world is, I'm fine. Like, you're not fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm okay, I'm good. Like, you're not good, you know what I'm saying? And it's okay to not be good. And as we get into the show, maybe we'll have some other questions that will maybe relate to some of those type of situations. But I just encourage you through this question that you just find deep inside of you that smoking weed, whether it be bad or not, is not gonna put you in a position to achieve or accomplish the goals and dreams you have for your life.
And like you say, a lot of times, is for you. You told yourself, "Come on, it's not gonna be that bad," but you said it didn't stop at marijuana.
Right, it doesn't. And I can't speak for everybody, but I can tell you for me and a lot of people that I know that struggle with the same struggles that I have in my life still to this day, and that I have to fight through. And the reason I surround myself with very vision-minded, strong-minded people is because it's easy to get trapped in a situation and find yourself going down this slope that's downhill or falling off this mountain. And it's not that bad is an excuse. It is a lie. I'm fine is a lie. And if it's okay to not be fine, it's okay to not be good. It's okay to need some help. And
for this guy, he's an athlete, so him failing the drug test, that in itself is like.
And to athletes specific, it's like. And this is the craziest thing in the world, and this is as 100% real as I can be. I've never, since I was a sophomore in high school, Stu, there wasn't many times that I didn't play a game where I hadn't been under the influence or had previously in that day. And I'm just curious as this, and I tell people this all the time. I had so much talent, and yet I never truly capitalized on that talent, and I say power your potential, or capitalize on your talent. We talk about talent, character, and opportunity. If you're an athlete and you're smoking weed, it doesn't matter how talented you are. You're not gonna farther anything or take on new heights in your career. And if that's important to you, it's important to definitely surround yourself with people who have the same vision as you, so that you can achieve the goals you want athletically as well.
And that's very important for athletes, man. Very important who you surround yourself with. Plus, you don't want to be dependent on something to make you feel good. Question number 2 for the day. That was good, though. That was good. It's a girl who you went to her school to speak.
Okay.
And she says, when you showed up at our school today, talking about drug addiction, it got me thinking about my life. And I'm over here wondering if it's worth me even being here. This dude broke up with me and told me I'm not worth it, and now I believe him. So what does somebody do when they feel like?
So I take this question as you feel worthless, you feel like giving up. I hear depression, I hear some mental health struggles. You can't seem to get yourself out of a rut. What do you do? I know on episode 1 last week we talked about breakups, so I'm not going to hit too much on that point because you can tune back into episode 1 and check that out. But for this question in particular, what do you do when you feel worthless or you feel like giving up, you feel depressed, and you just can't seem to get out of a rut? I tell people all the time, because I struggled with mental health. I still struggle with mental health to this day, but I remember what it was like to be depressed, and I truly believe that the one important thing that a lot of people need to know who suffer from feeling this way, which I hear is a depressed state, I hear is a lot of low self-esteem, a lot of insecurities in this question. But I would challenge you to change everything that you're doing. Like what you're doing, it might not be working. So if I don't feel like anybody wakes up in the morning and tells herself like, I'm gonna be miserable today. Right. Does that make sense? Like if you wake up and you tell yourself the first thing in the morning that I'm miserable, then chances are you're probably going to be miserable to the day. So I believe that the most important thing is that every morning you make it a challenge to wake up in the morning and let your first thought be, before you ever even hit the floor, today's going to be a good day. Why? Because it's the first thought I had when I open my eyes and my feet hit the floor in the morning is today is going to be a good day, and today is the day whatever you want to make it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so I feel like you need to challenge yourself to start doing things the opposite of the way you are doing things. And if you're feeling depressed, why are you feeling depressed?
Right.
Maybe you need to switch up your routine, your daily routine. Find a schedule. Are you doing things intellectually, physically, and emotionally, and not to mention spiritually,
right,
to feed you the support, emotionally or internally that you need to find comfort in times of uncomfortability. And so I would challenge you, like intellectually, I know for me, being incarcerated, it doesn't get more lonely than that. It doesn't get harder than that. And I found a way in there to change or better who I was as a person. And I found myself intellectually, and I challenge you to do this, is read books. And I'm not a reader, Stu. I don't read, you know what I'm saying? But I found myself in there reading, and I realized that intellectually I became, just more confident in who I was. I became deeper in thought, and I felt more complete as a person intellectually. But then physically, are you doing anything? Because I believe physical health is as important as mental health. Is are you doing things to physically improve your happiness? Because I believe that just a simple walk a day, it could be taking the dog for a walk, it could be going to the gym, it could be shooting hoops, it could be going and kicking soccer, whatever it is, just take 30, 45 minutes to an hour out of your day and do some things physically that can bring a natural sense of happiness, or it kind of produces those endorphins in your brain that give you a natural release of happiness. And then emotionally, I believe you challenge your relationships. I challenge you emotionally to challenge your relationships. Are you focusing on you, or are you focusing on your relationships? And I believe if you truly focus on your relationships, you'll find yourself beginning to find more peace. You focus on the true relationships around you and the important immediate relationships as the people who truly have your best interest, and you engage in those relationships, you'll realize that it will begin to help you internally as you focus on your relationships and heal or fix or continue to progress in those relationships that you have. And then the last thing is spiritually. I just challenge you guys to take a few minutes every day to take time to say thank you, or to give somebody, whether that be the God of your understanding or not. I know what I choose to believe, but I believe that you take time out of your day to spiritually find who you are as a person. And I believe if you do those simple things right there, I think you'll realize that you'll have a lot more peace and happiness in your life. And you realize that depression was just, I had it in my mindset that I'm depressed. Break the mindset, and wake up every morning with the thought that I'm going to be happy.
That's deep. Because I just feel like a lot of people, their happiness, like you said, when you do those things for yourself and you're mentally, spiritually, physically taking care of yourself, you're not so dependent on other people.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people's happiness is in other people.
Absolutely.
So when that person leaves, that means your happiness is leaving as well.
That's right. Preach.
You see what I'm saying?
I feel you. And it's it is hard, because I remember finding myself in ruts and in holes, just so often in my life. And I truly believe if you focus on those four things, intellectually, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, if you focus on those four categories in your life and you really try to improve those areas in the ways that I talked about, I feel like you'll find yourself to find a more sense of happiness or peace in your life. And that's something that I've found through personal experience. And that's the advice I give you if you're struggling with feeling worthless or feeling in a depressed state and you need some help up.
Good. One more
question. What do we got, Stu?
This is a good one. They said, "Hey, I've messed up just like you.
Come on.
How do you get help without getting sent off or being judged? I'm kind of scared."
Okay.
So
what do you do when you want help but you're afraid to be judged for it? You don't want to get sent. Okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of people they know they need help, but now they're like, I'm afraid to go to somebody. I don't want to be judged.
I can answer this question because, again, personally, I've experienced it. I know what it's like to deep down inside know I need help. You know what I'm saying? I need help. And I think a lot of us at a lot of times in our life are faced with this internal question, I need help. I know I need help. But for so many, for so many of the, so many years as of lately, especially for men, we find that we have to be strong, or we have to be, the one to always, make sure that everything's under control. We can never be weak. We can never, have struggles. And that's the perception that the society that we live in and everything that we see in our daily lives has given us. But male or female, we both have pride issues. And this is where we talked about the other day when we were headed up to an event up in Ohio, and pride is the deep issue behind not really wanting help. And so, do you really want help, or do you just say you want help to just fix the situation that you're in? You feel what I'm saying? Because I know there was a lot of times where I was like, okay, I'll get help, just so you would get off my back, just so I could get the monkey off my back. But here's the thing. Usually if you have the thought in your mind that you need help, chances are that you probably need help. And that's okay. That doesn't make you weak. Here's the thing. Knowing that you actually want help and need help makes you stronger than being weak. Because why? Because you have lost your sense of pride. Therefore, you've been humbled. Therefore, you've had the humility to admit defeat. And it's okay to admit defeat, because when you lose is when you get that feeling and you realize that you want to become a winner. And sometimes you got to lose before you can win. And that's okay. Like, it's okay. But you got to learn how to lose in life to win. And so we talked about it the other day, and I was actually at a treatment center. I was at a treatment center, and we did a little, it was a little exercise, okay? And so what we did was, they blindfolded all of us, okay? They blindfolded all of us too, and they walk us from like the top where we used to stay at, and they walked us down through this little course, and it was like a ropes course. And so what we had to do was like hang on to the ropes, and we were blindfolded, and they told us, they're like, there's only one way out. There's only one way out. And me being the competitor and athletic guy that I am, I'm like, oh, bet I'm gonna be the first one out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I start going around, and like, I'm like, man, I just can't figure it out. Like, I'm thinking, like, I'm a pretty decently smart guy. Like, I like to think I am, at least. And I'm like, 20 minutes goes by, and there's like, 10, 15 people that have already got out. And I'm like, man, I'm doing something wrong. Right. And so I'm like, I can't figure out. And so I hear like one of the leaders, they're like, there's only one way out. There's only one way out. He says, there's only one way out. And I'm like, I still can't figure it out. And so I get down to the last two people. And it's me and this other dude, and we can't get out. And the next thing you know, it's like, and he got out. And I'm like, I'm the last one in here. Like, I can't figure it out. And I'm just mad. Now I'm mad. An hour I've been going around blindfolded. Right. And an hour goes by. And all of a sudden I said, man, I need help. And he walks over to me and he says, you just got out of the hole that you've been in. And I said, oh my gosh, how simple was that? And I'm telling you this, dude, this was 6 years ago. And I've never forgot that. All you got to do is just ask for help. I need help. Those 3 words, like, it's cool to struggle. It's cool to be defeated. It's okay to be weak. That's where you find your victories. That's where you find your wins. That's where you find your strengths. That's where you find your success, is in those failures and those defeats and those falls. And that's okay. But when you fall, the answer out is, I need help. And so I challenge you to not be afraid to be judged, not be afraid of actually going to face the fact that if you need to go away to get help, and that's the only way to get help, then you gotta go. You gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you really don't think deep down that you need help. And then if that's the case, then you're never gonna change unless you are ready to change.
Amazing, man. Because look, think about a student, right? A student who's not doing well in the class. and they don't want to raise their hand and ask a
Right.
question. They don't want people to look at them like they
No.
crazy, so they end up failing the class.
Absolutely. And I tell kids all the time, it's like, I hear this when I'll mentor some young kids and work with some young kids, and it's like, man, mom and dad's on me about my grades. And I'm like, well, what are you, are you struggling? Like, have you gone to the teacher and asked for help? Like, no. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, well, like
yeah.
maybe that's the first step. And he's like,
Right.
well, I don't want to ask for help. And I'm like, well, then you're not ever going to find the answer.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like you say, sometimes you have to be willing to feel uncomfortable and ask those tough questions where you sometimes your pride will get in the way, and learn to swallow that pride, find humility, ask those tough questions in order for you to truly find what you're looking for.
I think the greatest quote you said today was sometimes you need to lose so you get that feeling to realize I want to be a winner.
That's right. Hey, man, thank you guys for tuning in. It was another awesome day. Episode 2, man, we hope you love it. We got more coming for you, so stay tuned. This is just the beginning, guys. I hope you got your seatbelts buckled because it's about to take off, man. So God bless you guys. Have a great day, and tune in next week to Zeke Speaks, Episode 3.